Question 1. Tell me about yourself. So to start off, my name is Sophia. I am about to graduate from the University of Central Florida with a bachelor's degree in psychology, actually in a couple of days, which is very exciting. And I am planning to apply to the master's program at UCF for social work to continue my education and to further my studies. I really love to advocate for mental health. I really love fashion, I love creativity, so I love injecting my own kind of twist on psychology and my own kind of perspective on how I would treat clients, how I would advocate for clients, how I can use creative expression to heal. I'm really passionate about all those things. I was born in Colombia and I moved here when I was just 1 year old with my mom. So in South Florida, born and raised, and I moved here to UCF after high school. Now I'm here and I'm just super excited to continue my education and to work with you guys, hopefully. And yeah, that's a little bit about myself. How would you describe yourself? So I would describe myself as a very punctual, organized person. I'm very interested in keeping things in line, keeping things in order, and doing things to the best of my ability. And in order for me to do that, I like to be organized and punctual and know where all my eggs are in my little basket. I would say I'm a creative problem solver. I'm a creative person. I like to describe myself as such because I really feel as though I bring new thoughts and new ideas to the table. I would describe myself as a kind and caring person, which I think is needed in this line of work, as well as just easygoing, friendly, easy to work with, but also I can be in a leadership position as well. So I do have leadership qualities, I'd say. What interests you about this role? What interested me originally about this role was the idea that from a bachelor's level, I could go not straight to working with patients, but kind of getting that momentum, getting that training, the experience needed for me to progress once I'm done with my master's with treating actual patients. So I like that this was taking a first step. I think it could be a great experience builder for myself to really see what kind of line of work I'm interested in doing in the field of psychology, and I feel as though this is the perfect, momentum builder for me personally. I feel really interested about working with patients in a hospital setting. I think it'd be really interested to monitor their behaviors and monitor their symptoms and talk with them and make them feel a little bit more at home. So that's what really interested me about this job, is that not only am I getting a first step and first look into psychology, but I can also really change some lives and learn about behavior along the way. What motivates you? I'd say what motivates me is a passion for the destigmatization of mental health, especially because coming from a Latinx background, a lot of the times mental health isn't regarded as something real or serious, and I really want to change that, not only just in my community but in every community, and let everyone know that this is something that is regular, is very normal, should be checked up just like you have a regular body checkup. This is your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and it's really important that you keep those in check just like your physical health. That really motivates me because I just feel like a lot of impoverished or people in need don't have access to basic, psychological resources, not only because they can't afford it or they're not available, but I feel like because there's a stigma, there's this weird feeling around going to get your psyche checked, and I think that's really unnecessary, and I feel like it would be really beneficial to our society if we just remove that stigma and provide people with the help that they actually need, without making them feel as though they need, to hide it or anything like that. What are you passionate about? So I'm passionate about, like I said, I'm passionate about removing the stigma from mental health. I'm passionate about getting people the help that they need and that they deserve in a kind way, in a diverse way, in a way that takes in their cultural backgrounds, in a way that takes in their socioeconomic status. That's what I'm passionate about. Helping others that are in need, helping others that, I feel as though I could be beneficial in their lives, and we have some growing to do, and I would love to provide that for people. That's what I'm really passionate about, especially in the Latinx and LGBTQ communities. I'm part of both, and I'm really passionate about helping people see that there's nothing wrong, that there's no stigma in being part of, POC groups or marginalized groups. It's really, really my passion, just to provide the help and the therapy and the counseling and the mentorship that comes along with this job. Why are you leaving your current job? Well, I love my job. I'm currently a host at a restaurant. My restaurant family, I love them very much. It's been very sweet, and I get paid well, and it's really nice. However, it's not advancing me further into my career of psychology and into the path I would like to take career-wise. So I'd like to look for jobs in the psych career space, and this one really interested me as soon as I saw it. So that's the main reason I'm leaving my job, hopefully to get a better salary or a better pay, but also just to get my foot in that psych door and continue to grow from there. What are your 3 greatest strengths? I'd say my 3 greatest strengths are my ability to keep learning. I love to read, I love to learn, and I love to look at new perspectives, new disorders, new types of therapy. I'm just the type of person that keeps on learning and learning, which I feel is a great strength in this profession. As new research comes out, it's important that you keep yourself up to date. So I'd say that's one of my greatest strengths. Another one would be creative problem solving. A lot of people tend to just look at problems in a linear way, as if there's only one way to solve them. I just like to look at things from different perspectives and maybe think of a more creative way to solve problems. That's just my nature, so I think that's another great strength for me. And then lastly, I'd say my maybe administrative strength. I've had internships where I've been a receptionist, so I like organization, I like timeliness, I like for things, I like to have my eggs all in one basket. I like for things to run smoothly, and I make sure that they do. So I'd also say that's a great strength, What is your weakness? I'd say my weakness is maybe getting overwhelmed initially. My brain just starts to go 100 miles per hour, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know. But then once I give myself a couple of days to brainstorm, just a couple of moments to really think through an issue, I feel as though my problem solving starts to come through, and that initial feeling of overwhelming feeling is gone, and I feel like I can work through that. Maybe a little bit of anxiety that I feel initially with a task or with an assignment, I'm always able to work through, but it's just always that initial okay, so how are we gonna handle this? I'd say that is my weakness, but I find ways to go through. How do you handle stress? So I'd say that I handle stress by using my physical body. I love to do yoga. I love to go for morning walks. Not only that, but I'll also read, just do things that kind of calm my nervous system, calm me down, and allow me to go about the rest of my day in a better state. Which role do you take on in a team? So I can take on both roles. I am a bit of a perfectionist, so when I'm able to, I'll take on the role of a leader, just so I can kind of make sure everything's happening okay, kind of divide responsibilities. So I'm really good in a leadership role. I just like to make sure everything's organized and done correctly. I'm not overbearing, I'd say, but I can also just as well be in a team role, team member role. I don't have an ego, so I don't really care if I'm the leader. As I said, if it's possible, I'll take it, and if someone else wants it, I'll let them have it. And I'm super open to hearing other people's ideas, to working under other people's leadership, because I feel like that gives you a good experience and it gives you a way to improve your own leadership skills. So it's definitely, I feel, important to do both, to be a good team member, to be a good leader, and to know that you can do both. How do you handle conflict? Personally, I like to handle conflict if it's with a team member, just myself and the team member, and if it can't get resolved like that, then I'll go ahead and take it to a higher up. But if that's not necessary and it can be resolved, between team members, between colleagues in a friendly manner, I think that's great. I think communication is a huge role in dealing with conflict. So I always like to communicate first before taking it anywhere else it needs to go. And finally, do you have any questions? And yes, I do have a couple of questions. So for me, what is the company culture like? Do you think I would fit in? What are some things that I could do to improve my personality and my work ethic to fit better into your company? I would really love to know. As well as, of course, is there upward movement within the company? So if I start out as a tech, is there any way that I could move up vertically within the hospital, within the team? So is there any way to advance my career within the hospital? And then finally, what does a day in the life look? What does a day in the life look like here? I wonder, what time do we come in? How many team members do we see? How many patients do we see? How much time do we have with our patients? All that kind of stuff. It would be really interesting to know what a day in the life looks like and what I'll be getting myself into in a good way.